There it is. You hear that, Jacoby? You hear that? Tick-tock.
They took that pot off that back burner and they put it on the front, baby, and they cranked it up.
Sure did.
It's going to be the discussion for 10 days.
And Jacoby Brissett may be relieved based on the ass kicking that he's taken so far over 3 games. He might be ready to throw the kid the keys, be like, here, dude, you drive, all right, because I'm good. I'm going to kick back in the passenger seat and take a nap for the next several states, okay? You continue this road trip. I'm good.
And I started to feel bad, like, throughout the last part of that game for Jacoby because, like, I think there's only so much he can do. I mean, that's obvious. We've talked about limitations and what his ceiling is and what's his state in the league and why is he in the position he's in. Because he's sort of that game manager that keeps it rolling until the guy's ready to go. The problem is the operation around him is probably the worst he's ever been in. And I feel bad for him because, like, you took an opportunity here to come here on a 1-year deal for $8 million, and you know what the deal is. They pick a guy number 3, he's going to eventually be the guy. That's why he signed a 1-year deal. He didn't sign a 4-year deal. He didn't get 3 years guaranteed. We don't need to see the guaranteed money at the front end of that contract because it is what it is. And Mayo said it after the game. Coach Mayo said after the game last night, quarterback touches the ball every play. So right there is like indicator number 1. Like, okay, I may have not a problem with the position, but I'm not getting enough out of the position. And then he talked about, we got a couple days off here. Sit down, watch a film. We're going to reevaluate some things. Starting with us, meaning coaches. That was a bad job by the coaches last night. Alex Van Pelt, DeMarcus Covington, who I love. And that defense was not ready to go. How can the Jets be that ready on 3 games in 11 days? They're bringing an acupuncturist, masseuse in to try and get that team ready. They were ready to go. They have more energy. And the home team on a Thursday night should. Those Thursday night games suck for the visiting team. They really do. And we've been on both ends of it. You have a massive advantage at home. Massive. And you got a hell of a quarterback. That quarterback last night picked up right where he left off from 3 years ago. I don't think he was the same guy 2 years ago when I saw him in Green Bay. He wasn't great in Green Bay at the end. He had everything last night. Everything. Off the back foot, on the run to the right, on the run to the left, in the pocket. Seam routes. Floaters to the tight end down the middle. Accuracy was at its premium last night with Aaron Rodgers. It took him a while to get going with Garrett Wilson. Like, he was off with him, and that's his best receiver. But, man, him and Lazard have a good rapport. But what a catch by Wilson on Gonzalez down at the goal line. You had no answer for everything they did offensively, and I think they took their foot off the gas, personally. Thought they mismanaged the end of the first half, sort of lollygagging. They could have stepped on your throat. It was an ass-kicking from a statistical standpoint. Yardage, first downs, time of possession, third down conversions, plays run, you name it. Like, this is one of those game balls like you want to bury, or tape you want to bury, but you're not in that position. You're too young, you're building. You need to watch this tape and understand it's a little bit of a reality check. Because I thought they had a chance last night going into that game. Believe that or not. I think some people did. Because of the way they played in the first 2 weeks. Effort, tight games. They looked like they were on their spot. They took the coaching. They took the game planning. Were they undermanned? Yes. But they played above their heads a little bit. They did. You couldn't run the ball at all last night. Their defense had 2 of their best players out. Mosley didn't even play this game. I mean, they didn't even do anything with Sauce Gardner. They just kept him on the left side. You stay over there. We'll play our bump and run, play some zone. They didn't blitz the hell out of him. They got pressure with 4 all night. And then when they brought 5, you couldn't do anything with it. It was definite sack time. So here we are. And you played the quarterback, the young one, at the end of that game to see what he can do and if he can move the team. He took a hell of a shot, almost got cut in half, almost got decapitated. That'll wake your ass up. Said on the broadcast, that will wake your ass up.
Loved that hit for him.
And after the game, hey, felt good to take the hit. Let's go. He's got to get ready because I think he's going to play. I think the clock started. you don't do that.
It's full on. You don't put him in the game
get the
last
feet
night
wet
because you're
there.
not going to play him. They're going to play him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Multitude of messages. It's not just hey, you know what? Let's see what he can do.
To all the beat guys last night, I'm sorry for all of you because all you're doing last night is crying on Twitter and clutching your pearls.
About what?
Clutching your football pearls about you can't play Drake Maye behind the line.
He's playing. Yeah. He's playing.
Oh, you can't do it. You want me to read some of them? Our own Alex Barth.
What did he say?
With a quote, "Why won't the Patriots just play Drake Maye?" And then he adds the pictures of Drake Maye getting hit and sacked in the game last night. Marc Daniels, there's no way the Patriots should remotely consider starting Drake Maye right now, not with the state of this offensive line. Yeah. Taylor Kyle's with the strongest one. I love him. I think he's great, but he had this one last night that I hate, which is people calling for Drake Maye while watching Jacoby Brissett get hit every drop back is unconscionable. I have a hard time with that word. Warren Sharp.
It's a tough one.
Warren Sharp. I like him too.
He's a mustache guy, right?
Yeah. He writes, inserting Drake Maye for his first reps when he didn't get starter reps all week to prep for this defense and playing behind this makeshift offensive line. Just incredibly stupid. Connor
because
Ryan.
they were going to come back in that game.
Connor Ryan saying, behind this Patriots offensive line, Drake Maye shouldn't come anywhere close to starting. I got news for all of you. That's the 4 I just picked out quick off
Twitter.
One for you. I got news for you. Week 5. Buckle up. It's coming. They didn't put him in the game last night as some sort of gimmick or a joke. They put him in there because they're getting ready to play him.
Yeah, 70-30 goes to 60-40 this week.
And it's not a knock on Jacoby Brissett. That guy's a freaking warrior, man. Yeah, he's out there getting
tough kid
killed.
The shots of him after those drives.
And he picks himself back up off the turf. He's tough as nails. I like that. But you know what? He's not a good quarterback. He's average. And this team is dreadful. All the guys around him are just terrible at blocking. It can't get open on the outside. The receivers are mediocre. The offensive line sucks. He's got some tight ends. He's got Hunter Henry. But for the most part, the team's not very good. So where can you change out parts to try and spark something? Quarterback's one of the positions, and they're going to do it. I'm sorry for all of you. I'm sorry for all of you that think
football players play.
You're going to get killed. Hey, you can't do that.
I mean, other than Mac Jones getting his ankle rolled up.
It's unconscionable. You can't do it.
Didn't he get cut in half a bunch of times, specifically like Dallas, but he kept getting up? Football players play. That's what you do.
Yeah, 3rd overall picks play. Most of them, 90%,
do they?
90% of them play by week 5. We've done the math.
Yeah.
I was not for Drake Maye starting last night or any of the previous weeks. And I'm not even for Drake Maye starting in San Francisco. So if you're calling for that, I think you're a little premature. But after that, I think it's game on for Drake Maye.
They got it.
And you know what? They're going to get smoked in San Francisco, and they're going to get him in the game again. And he's going to play again, and then he's going to start. So I think the conversation about should he not, we can have it. I love to do the debate. We'll do it all day. We'll do it all week. We'll do it for the next month if you want. But you know what?
Yeah.
Those of you who don't want him to start, you're going to be left disappointed because the kid's about to play. And thank God, because if not, we have to watch what we saw last night for 14 more weeks. Do you want to do that?
They can't do that as a staff. It's fireable.
14 more weeks?
It's fireable.
Fire everybody.
I mean,
I'm serious. You got to fire everybody if that's how bad they're going to be.
Gerard's been around the game long enough to where, as a player, as a high-level player, now as a smart coach, you look at that film and say, like, we got to do something.
And now we're finding out he got hired 5 years ago. I don't know if you guys know that, but Gerard Mayo got promised the gig 5 years ago now, not a year or two ago. It was 5 years ago that they decided Gerard Mayo was in. I wonder if he knew it was going to be this bad 5 years ago.
Well, the owner's on record on that.
And also, I just wish that all these beat guys would spend a little bit more time kicking the crap out of Elliott Wolf for his terrible offseason. But they all seem very afraid to do that. You know why? Because Elliott's nice. And he talks to them.
The best ability is accessibility.
That's right.
Availability.
Maybe not public press conferences, but Elliott is very nice to the guys behind the scenes. And he gives them things. And he talks to them. So no one's going to go after the GM for a complete failure on the offensive line last night. But it goes beyond that because they don't just think it was personnel last night, as you alluded to, Zo. Not just personnel on that team last night. There were plenty of coaching things to look at. 5 years ago, Gerard Mayo gets pegged. How do you think Gerard Mayo and his staff did in the game last night?
Not good. Not good on one day to get ready, really.
Can we talk about the offense?
Yeah.
How many free rushers happened in that game? Guys that went unblocked.
Oh, I lost count.
And isn't that not just about personnel anymore? That's about
communication
and protection and scheme?
Yep.
Where was it?
I mean, if I'm Scott Peters, line coach, It could be like Adrian Clem, like, this is what you gave me as tackles, you know. Now, Michael Weno is a good tackle. Problem is, you moved him inside. He had played half the camp at guard. Then he got back out to tackle. Then he's back at guard. Then he's back at tackle. David Andrews is really good. He can't do everything. I mean, you look to his right. I mean, you got Layden Robinson there. He's a rookie. Caden Wallace started at left tackle. Did you see what the Jets did with their end? They put him all the way out almost at the slot, like in a 9 technique, trying to block a punt. And he's got to go block him. You know, left guard, Michael Jordan got elevated, 2 weeks ago, signed to the active roster, and then now he's starting. So if I'm Scott Peters, like, I don't know what more to do with what I have. I mean, this is what I got. It's a talent thing. It is a talent thing up front.
The Jets blitzed in this game more than they had in any game in the last 4 years.
See, what's a blitz, though? What are they clarifying as a blitz? I sat there that game. I didn't see much secondary pressure coming at all. Blitz to me is bringing safety help down. You got 8 in the box, and you got one guy back, and it's bumping around on the outside. That is blitz to me. Zone blitzes don't really do much for me. That's bringing a 5th guy. You should be able to block 5 with 5 and 6 at times. I don't think you can block 5 with 6. I think if you kept your back in and your tight end in, you still struggle because you get overpowered.
Well, I just want to know the answers for things like when Quincy Williams comes through unblocked as a linebacker.
That's bad.
Well,
he's the main guy.
Might want to
him and his brother. I'd start with him and his brother.
How does that happen?
Hug blitz, loop, games, twists, lack of communication up front. 2 guys taking one. All of a sudden, there goes one right by me. Oh,
right. So those are instances where I say it's not like a guy just got beat. There was no one on the guy.
That's a misassignment.
Right.
Misassignment. Yeah, you get a negative for that.
So it's not all, and that could definitely be on the decision-making of the players on the line.
Sure.
I'm not ruling that out.
Bedard will be in here,
I'm just
tomorrow?
saying that when this happens repeatedly in the game, you're supposed to do something about it. Did they do anything about it? From what you could tell.
Sure, they talked about it.
I'm sure. Okay.
Sure, they talked about a lot of things. Mayo was pissed post-game. He said, we talked ad nauseum at not letting Rodgers break containment, to stay on the edge. How many times did they cave down in? Whether it was teachers,
but at least those are like really good players, and you got really good players making plays. You got a Hall of Fame quarterback. You got a legit number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah, but you let him on the outside, you got no shot. Once he breaks containment, you don't have a chance.
I just think the biggest takeaway of this game is that offensive line is talentless in a lot of ways, but beyond that, they now can't even account for the rushers that are coming out.
Yeah, and I think what you see now through 3 games is, as I said, defensive coordinators aren't morons in this league. They're going to get you on tape, and they're going to start stacking the box. And until you back people off, you're going to get 8-man fronts. And it's going to look like blitz. It might not even be blitz, but it's going to look blitz because there's 8-man up. It looks like they're coming. They might not be coming, but they just might be able to beat your ass by rushing 4. I think that's what I'd do if I was teams. I'd rush 4 and drop 7. Like, you really don't need to get to the quarterback because you could cover. You could have covered sacks. You could have covered sacks with 4. That's what's happening. You'll cover them up. There's no separation. There was more stuff open with Pop. I thought Pop, they made effort to get. Let's try and look at one of the positive things here, if I can even find one. Pop Douglas, they made effort to get him involved in the game plan. I think he responded a little bit. He's out there flying around. He's trying to make plays. Like, that's a kid that's been stressed first 2 weeks because he hasn't touched the ball. There was a concerted effort to get him the ball last night. That's about it. And Anfernee Jennings running around on defense and playing through some pain. That's 2. Okay, so I got 2 things. That's about it. Gonzalez struggled last night.
Not a great night for him.
Nope. Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.